From Southern California, welcome to the Hour of Power. This week, Dorothy Brenninger, Cheryl Crandall, Da Capo Players, the Hour of Power Choir, and Pastor Bobbie Schuller. Discover America's television church as the face and voice of positive Christianity to the world.
I am excited to welcome one of America's most successful women, Dorothy Brenninger. Dorothy is the owner and executive director of the Center for Organizational and Goal Planning. From homemakers and CEOs to high-profile celebrities, Dorothy coaches them on how to conquer procrastination while helping them to develop a fulfilling home and work life. She's organized an expert Emmy-nominated A&E network hit show, The Hoarders. How many of you have seen that program? Yeah, great show. Featured on NBC's Today Show and many national television and radio appearances, PBS, QVC personality, ABC's TV, The View, Dr. Phil expert, etc., etc., etc. Would you please welcome with me Dorothy Brenninger. Hi,
Thank
Dorothy.
you. Good morning, good morning.
So nice. We had a chance to talk in the back a little bit about, the amazing work that you're doing on television, as an organizational leader, as a coach. And of course, you probably have a lot that we can learn from that we're going to try and cram into a brief interview. But one of the interesting things that you've talked about is this kind of revelation as you were working on Hoarders, the TV show, which is a show about people who hoard stuff, essentially. And the relation between clutter and weight loss, and that kind of led you to this book that you wrote. So tell us a little bit about that revelation.
Okay, I wrote this book called Stuff Your Face or Face Your Stuff. And there I was on season 3 of the Hoarder show. I had been doing a circuit of the Today Show and The View and and I was seeing myself at 200 plus pounds, on TV, and that looked big. And so there I was doing this television show, Hoarders, and I was meeting this person, Maybelline, who had many goats. She had 20 goats. She was hoarding goats, and they chewed through the side of the house. They chewed through the bedroom, and she had the goats in the house along with mounds of stuff everywhere. Yeah. And I gave her a big hug, as I always do, and then I started asking the questions that I ask. Are you a perfectionist? Are you yearning for something in your past? Is that why you're holding on to all this stuff? And as she answered the questions, I answered the questions about the stuff around my waist. I was hoarding sugar and flour on my body the same way she was hoarding stuff in her home.
So wait, you were 200 pounds?
I was 200 pounds.
Wow.
And I took off 75 pounds. So
wow,
I saw
great.
that correlation between the clutter and the clutter on me.
Yeah. I'm 200 pounds right now, too, but I'm also 6'3", so
yeah,
I don't hide
I'm
it.
barely 5 foot tall, so.
Well, that's amazing. And what was her answer, by the way? She was a perfectionist, is that right?
Yes. Many of us are perfectionists. It's what's a barrier to keeping us organized. We want it just so that we do all these other things and don't do the organizing itself.
What an irony that she's a perfectionist, and that leads her to being like someone who stores all of the stuff, and her life becomes quite imperfect, we might say.
Yes.
You must have an incredible amount of memories and stories from your experience on the show.
Yes.
Are there any others that really kind of stand out?
Yes, I had one gentleman, Lloyd, who was 76 years old. He collected bicycles. He had 5,000 bikes and bike parts in his house. And he slept on the porch of his house outside. And I said, Lloyd, if you clear the clutter, I promise you'll make space for something else. So we helped him clear the clutter. Now here's the deal, he was going to jail because neighbors had reported him. It was a public health hazard. So we cleared it up, and by golly, he went to church and he started inviting people over to his house, and he met his new bride. So guess who organized the wedding afterward?
Great. Speaking of organized, that seems to be kind of your thing.
Yes.
That you go into people's lives, many of whom are perfectionists, but you help them organize stuff and organize their lives. You even asked me back behind in the sacristy, how do you organize? And nobody had asked me this question. How do you organize yourself? Tell me a little bit about, for us who are listening, why is organization important? What kind of tips can you give us?
Yeah, well, everybody's different, right? Yeah. So in terms of organizing, I want everyone to consider how your brain thinks, not how you think it should look in the magazines, but how your brain thinks. So if you're a piler and a stacker with paperwork, Some of us like to file, and some of us like to pile. So use a bookcase. Rather than books on the bookcase, how about piles of paper? Categories, very smartly put together, but just pile system rather than a file system.
You know what's so funny? A friend of mine is a huge, on the Myers-Briggs, he's huge on the J side. I'm kind of big on the P side. Not way on that side, but one of the weird things is he has a cluttered desk and mine is organized, which was like a weird thing for us. So I guess every mind is different. You can't really...
Well, and there's right brain, left brain. Left brain is analytical, right brain is creative.
Yeah.
I can't go into my clients' homes who are artists and clean it all up because they get some of their energy and inspiration from the chaos.
Yeah, right. So there's something about not having others organize for you. You should, it sounds like organizing your own stuff is a part of the discipline that brings you freedom, maybe? Is that?
Absolutely, but one tip, avoid perfection at all costs.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Tell us more about that.
Yeah, because when we try to, there's that perfect thing.
Yeah.
If we wanted all pretty color files, folders, then we run out of those color file folders and oh dear, we can't do the filing.
Yeah.
You know, whatever it is, it kind of keeps us from doing the actual organizing. You can beautify it later.
Yeah, so give yourself a lot of grace is kind of what I hear you saying. Organize it, but don't be crazy about it.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're going to become a hoarder.
Yes, I even have a junk drawer, Pastor, so.
Yeah, I feel like everybody has that one bowl in the house that is the catch-all, that is just filled with the most random stuff.
Yep.
Paper clips, bouncing balls,
Old
broken
stamps.
watches.
Yes.
I know you guys don't have that. Maybe it's just me. Tell us about Curb the Chaos.
Yes, actually, this is something that, it's a 5-video series that I have. It's called Curb the Chaos at curbthechaos.com. And if anyone here decides to go in and purchase that product, it's all about organizing. You just fill in HOP, that's the code for Hour of Power, and we're giving donations back to the church on any purchases made. So
Great,
I'm coming to you
wonderful.
through videos to get organized.
So everybody caught that, right? You here and you watching on TV, if you want to help us out, help out Dorothy, and you just type in HOP, and that will...
HOP, that'll do it.
Wonderful, that's really, really sweet. You read a biography of my grandpa, Dr. Schuller, and tell me, how did... Because that philosophy obviously is still woven into the fabric of our ministry here. How did that affect what you're doing now?
Yeah, it very much did, because I read lots and lots of stories, your grandfather's included, and what I learned was you can do something out of nothing. It doesn't require stuff to do it.
Say that again.
Your grandfather did something out of nothing.
Yeah.
And you don't require stuff to do it.
Yeah.
And we don't need stuff to remember us by. You know, today, very quickly, the song that Cheryl sang was Ave Maria. My father's no longer living. His favorite song was Ave Maria. There's no stuff in the world that's going to help me remember what I experienced this morning here at the Hour of Power.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Dorothy. And we
You're
feel the
welcome.
same way. What a blessing you are to us, helping
you.
us organize our lives and rethink about all these things. We don't have to be perfect. Is that
No
right?
way.
All right, great. Well, you're close to it, and we're so thankful that you came with us.
Thank
Can we
you.
give another hand to Dorothy Brenninger? God bless you. Thank you so much. Dorothy will be on the plaza this morning following the service, and she would love to autograph her new book for you, so make sure you stop by and say hi to her. Great.
Join us every week for the best hour on television, the Hour of Power, this Sunday.